Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Madam Masita and all my friend. Okay, today I'm Ahmad Ashraf bin Ahmad Nizam from IMS 245A. I would like to talk about the basic information of human information interaction. Okay, first of all, I would like to introduce the basic of human information interaction. Okay, the information field continues to grow in importance of as more people work in the information and survey industry like digital media assume greater roles in the education and entertainment. Okay, this growth in practical impact has been reflected in the growth of examine devoted to information. Okay, I would like to tell that this reflect on how information research has shift from emphasis on discrete elements of information toward an ecological account of human information interaction. Okay, humans who create, manage and use the objects to form mental representation. Okay, and the technology that captures, store, transmit and manage information object. Okay, many researchers choose a scientific and reductionist approach to study the elements of the information field independently. Okay, with an eye toward creating better information system and services, this effort commonly lead to useful system. For example, search engines. Okay, the example of search engines are like Google's or Yahoo. The online catalogs, citation indexes, virtual reference services and multimedia digital libraries, but no unified theory of information. The design community also influenced information science by aiming to create transparent like system that allow people to focus more on the problem at hand. Okay, a primary approach to making transparent the technology that modern information depends upon is to couple people and information closely. It's like bonding the information and the people. Due to effort to understand all aspects of information, activity and design trends, and make directly involve human in controlling these activities. Researchers are increasingly forced to take an ecological approach to scientific researchers. Okay, this approach helps researchers to understand phenomena involving interdependent elements that interact continuously to create new outputs and emergent events. Thus, a fundamental challenge of the information field today is explaining how people interact with the object that they make. Okay, that's all for the introduction. Okay, we will move into the main content of today's speech, which are human information interaction. Okay, interaction is a special kind of information that involves two or more entities. Okay, like me and my friends talk about certain things and a set of reciprocities that affect changes to each entity. Okay, to further characterize an interaction, it is necessary to specify the entities, the nature of the action, the genesis of the action, and frequently of the reciprocity cycles, and of course the resultant changes in the participating entities. Okay, in the case of humans, information interaction or HII, human and information are the entities. Okay, action and mental physical interaction may initiate by humans or information objects, like computers for example. The intensity of a specific cycle can be small or large, and the frequency might be slow or rapid and regular or chaotic. The changes are different in mental state of human and physical or digital states of information objects. Although these characteristics of interaction are important, high interaction experience are typically determined by high reciprocity rates. Okay, theoretically, a human uses an object when there is little or no reciprocity or the feedback cycles are extremely limited and predictable. The term interaction is reserved for the situation in which the entities participate in several cycles of action that in turn cause changes in those entities. Okay, more practically, when human information interaction or HII is discussed in the information and computer science literature, the human typically do something repetitive. They do this action again and again. Okay, example, click, read, respond, and click again. The person experience different information each time without regard to changes in the object. Okay, for example, the changes in interacting entities are mainly one side. Okay, one claim is that humans are moving toward a potentially more symmetrical meaning of human information interaction, where both human and information objects evolve as a result of throughout interaction. Okay, it's very to grasp how people interact with each other and other living entities. Okay, for example, pets like cats. Okay, people also interact with this kind of animal. Okay, aside of the computer or human. Okay, the living entities like human have so much personal experience with such interaction. There is a huge variety of mental and physical action possible. Okay, interaction can be initiated by any living entity involved. Okay, it is very to grasp how people interact with each other and with other people living entities. For example, pets. Okay, you petting the head of your cat, for example, because humans have so much personal experience with such interactions. That's a good animals. Okay, there is a huge variety of mental and physical action possible. Interaction can be initiated by any living entity involved in the interaction, or they can be mutually initiated. The cycle can be few or many and take place over seconds or years, and the resultant change can be trivial or life-altering. Okay, because humans have extensive experience with a diverse range of interaction, with a seemingly limitless range of feedback possibilities. Interaction with non-living entities seem impoverished to the point of being non-interactive. Okay, for example, the reaction or the feedback from the conversation between you and your friend might be different and with endless possibilities. To a certain point, the feedback also can be predictable and become non-interactive because you can predict what will happen next. Okay, however, it is increasingly easy to accept that people interact with inanimate objects as the modern world leverage technologies to give our artifacts capabilities to change form and to initiate interaction. The main elements, of course, the computer, the humans, or even your pets. Okay, that's all for the content of human information interaction. Okay, in conclusion, let me conclude this. Okay, The evolution of digital information objects and new conceptions of human intentionally and behavior make human information interaction a core phenomenon for the information field. Okay, the understanding and facilitating information interaction requires considering the process of interaction as well as the resultant changes in both the human information seeker and the information objects. Okay, this situation in turn requires new methods and tools of investigation. Okay, these methods range from quantitative studies of masses amounts of behavioral data to in-depth ethnographic studies over long periods of time. Okay, hopefully the interaction can keep evolving to make the exchange of information better in future and in many ways. Okay, that's all from me for human information interaction. Okay, the basic one. Okay, that's all for me, and thank you for your time. And like, as a last effort to tell you how important this matter is, I will leave you with a video from Stanford University on virtual human interaction lab. Okay, it's an interesting videos and to add the knowledge of yourself about the HII. Okay, thank you again and Assalamualaikum.
Stanford University.
In terms of integrating three senses, virtual sight, virtual sound, and virtual touch, we believe that we are among the most advanced labs in the entire world at really giving you a multi-sensory perceptual experience. As you tilt your head or as you move forward, the cameras detect the position of these lights, and 100 times a second, it sends that information to the computer that draws the virtual scene. The beauty of virtual reality is it can give you an experience, a virtual experience that feels as if it's a real one, but one you can never have before.
So behind this acoustic fabric panel here, we have one of 22 speakers. Our speaker system is able to spatialize sounds.
When you see a virtual object, the sound comes from that virtual object in space. The floor shakes and can shake your feet and your knees. The way that it shakes is that it's got special speakers that you can't hear that create vibrations on the corners of the floor. And in order to make the floor shake, we had to have the vibrations travel across the floor. So we had to then contract a company out to get high, rigid airplane steel.
You are now in what we call the virtual pit. So your task for this world is to cross the plank towards the other side.
We have one of the best head-mounted displays that replaces your vision with a very high resolution, high field of view image of the virtual world. From the control room, an experimenter can sit and really orchestrate everything that happens in all of the rooms. When people come to wait for an experimenter, come to visit for a lab tour, the first thing they see here is this amazing 3D monitor that beams holograms into the room, and they don't have to wear any glasses to see them. Only in the last few years have we really started to see the technology that we have in this amazing lab starting to port to the living room. If you want to see what your living room is going to look like in 4 years, then you come to this lab. And this virtual world affects people. So it's no longer an academic question, it's actually a very important applied question to understand the implications of time spent in virtual spaces.
For more, please visit us at stanford.edu.